bring your coffee and let's talk about books. Talking about books always reminds me of coffee. Alright, today we are gonna talk about books on investment, not only in the stock market, but in the real estate market as well. Hi everyone, it's Rahab and welcome back to my channel. If you want to get into the investment world and you want to learn how to invest your money, I encourage you to read books on investing. You don't have to learn investing in a business school so that you can invest your money. Anyone can learn investing. I think everyone should learn how to invest their money. And instead of freezing your money in banks, learn how to invest it to generate even more money. Now, before we start these kind of books, as I am a person who is against interest and I don't deal with interests in any kind, because this interest thing is not a fair way to earn money. And I care about the way I earn my money. It's not our subject today, but you can do your own research and know why it's not a fair policy. It's not fair for both sides, by the way. Right? So that's why the strategies in these books that are talking about interest, I skip it, right? Because I don't care. I don't follow those strategies anyways. So if you are like me and have the same values, you need to pay attention when you read books on financing and money in general. And even if it's written by a famous writer, don't take everything literally from those books. Just take what goes with your values. I just wanted to remind you of that. Alright, let's start with the list. Book number 1, Learn to Earn by Peter Lynch. Peter Lynch is an American investor. He wrote many books on investing in the stock market, and I really loved reading his books and enjoyed reading them. His books are the kind of books that you don't want them to finish. You know what I mean? Because he mixes the psychology behind investing, and this teaches you how the market acts with investing strategies. So you learn investing in a logical way. He doesn't just teach you numbers, which makes you understand the stock market more. Now, Peter in this book talks about the reasons that make people lose in the stock market. He teaches you how to pick a stock and choose the good companies to invest in and what you should look for when choosing them. Now, Peter supports a long-term investing strategy, and this shows in the strategies he mentions in this book, because this is how you make money in the stock market, as he and all good investors think. Now, one of his famous strategies is buying shares and holding on to them and not letting go of them without a good reason. And if the stock price goes down, is not a good reason to sell that stock. So you shouldn't care about the price if you are a long-term investor. And his answer to the question, how much money should I invest, is only money you can live without for many years, because what happens tomorrow is always a guess in the stock market. He talks about the process of investing, like how to open an account and find a broker and what the broker does. He talks about the investing world and what investors should look for. Peter teaches you in this book how to do research about a company, what questions you should ask yourself, and what you should consider before buying a company's stocks. Now, Peter says that the worst mistake you could make is to change stocks or sit on your cash waiting for a correction. And if you time the market perfectly and buy at a low point, you profit more. And one of his good tips is that when he says that you should stick to the company through thick and thin. Another good tip, and it's to put a small amount of money to buy shares every month or 4 or 6. It is a very good book. You will learn a lot about investing in the stock market from it. Okay, book number 2, Beat the Street by Peter Lynch. I know, another book for the same writer, but this book was so good that I couldn't help but adding it to the list. Of course, it's different from the first one. Peter is a really good investor. So let's talk about 2 of his books. So this book teaches you investing strategies. It teaches you how to pick a stock and how to do research about the company you want to invest in. The author says that when investing in the stock market, you should diversify and you should invest in what you know. He says that choosing the company doesn't depend whether the company is big or small or whether the stock is cheap or not. It's based on what you know about the company. And he says that the best way to not be scared out of a stock is to buy them on a regular basis, month in and month out. So as we know that the stock market is seasonal, and when the stock price goes down, you just have a chance to buy more. He talks about all the different funds and how to choose them. He also talks about what happens to a fund in a bear market and what you should do. He talks about a few famous businesses and what it's like to invest in them. He also teaches you what to do if the prices are up. He explains to you what that means and when and how you need to invest. Peter has a lot of good strategies and you won't regret reading all of his books. Alright, now book number 3, The Big Secret for the Small Investor by Joel Greenplat. This book teaches you how to invest from investors' experiences. Now, the author says that business schools don't teach you to invest the right way. And if having a business degree is all it took, would be so many professional investors. But there aren't. This book teaches you small, simple concepts to beat the market, and almost anyone can master them. The author says the secret to successful investing is to figure out the value of something and then pay a lot less. He teaches you some strategies to choose and analyze the companies you want to invest in, and if those companies are worth investing in or not. He gives you a few methods to help you calculate the value of a company and measure its earnings. It's hard to predict, but it's always useful to know about the company you want to invest in. And not even Wall Street succeeded in predicting the earnings of the company in the market. And he says if we don't know how to value a business, we can't invest in it. The writer talks about what it's like to invest in big and small companies. He talks about the different kinds of indexes, the performance of index funds, and how the market reacts, and how we need to invest dependent on numbers, not emotions. As we know that the market is emotional and the stocks get mispriced due to emotions. Now, this author also, he supports the long-term investing strategy, and he says that how we humans by nature start to run and sell after 1 or 2 years of losses. And he says that the best strategy to follow is to choose a portion of your assets to invest in the stock market and stick with it, but not 100% of your assets, so that you don't lose everything if the market is not doing well. All I can say is that it's a good book and it teaches you a lot about investing in the stock market. Now, book number 4, The Millionaire Real Estate Investor by Gary Keller with Jay Papasan and Dave Jenks. Building wealth through real estate is possible for everyone, and this book teaches you how. In this book, you learn how to think and act like a real estate investor. It gives you models to follow to become a real estate investor, as you need to follow models in the field that you want to succeed in, and learn from people who have already proved their success in the field. The author says in real estate, you need to focus on opportunities and take action. And he says that big money doesn't come easily. Small does, and a big plan leads to big money, and so investing in real estate is a big plan and it leads to wealth. Now, the author says that high wages in your job don't make you wealthy. Investing does, but you need to invest in what you know and fully understand, otherwise you depend on luck. Investing is not risky as people think. It is the patience to find or wait for the right opportunity and take the correct action quickly. And he says that it's not timing. It is about being in the market all the time and waiting for the opportunity. And what makes real estate not risky is that real estate is stable, slow to rise and slow to fall. It doesn't shock you or surprise you, so it's predictable. Now, this book teaches you how to be an investor in the first place. It teaches you how to buy a house and sell it, making a profit, and how to buy wisely and safely, and which kind of house is better for what, and all the techniques you need to know when buying and selling houses. So this book teaches you how to be a good investor in real estate. I really recommend you read this book if you have fear of getting into this world, because it simplifies it for you and walks you through the process. Now, book number 5, How to Get Started in Real Estate Investing by Robert Irwin. Now, this book is for first-time investors. It takes you into the real estate world and it teaches you how to be a real estate investor. This book answers the questions that first-time investors are likely to have. And as a new investor, the author says that in the beginning, it is a mistake to invest in real estate as a full-time job. So you need to keep your daily job. He also encourages you to buy a property for the long term. And as a property value always goes up, you will make a great profit. The author walks you through the process of buying and selling a house. He teaches you how to find properties you can make a profit on, what to look for, how to negotiate, and what problems you might face. He talks about foreclosures and REOs, and he explains each one. And what I noticed in this book is that Robert talks about the mindset of buyers and sellers, and he teaches you how to say the right word and act the right way to get the best offer. This book also talks about real estate agents, why you need them, and what to look for when searching for one. He also teaches you what questions you need to ask them and what the perfect answers you need to hear from them. Now, he talks about the difference between apartments, offices, and commercial buildings. He also talks about flipping houses and how to make money from them. He also talks about rentals, how to find the perfect rental property, and how to profit from it. Robert in this book teaches you how to be creative and know when and what to buy, and buy right. And he says that the best strategy to follow is to put your emotions aside and sell when prices are high, buy when they're low, and hold until the right time. Robert says that investing in real estate can be a no-brainer. It's a matter of acquiring properties one at a time until you are wealthy. Reading this book feels like you are with a mentor who's walking you through the process of buying and selling houses, negotiating, just how to invest in real estate in general, getting into the details that you need if you want to become an investor in real estate. You're gonna love this book. So that was it for today's video. And don't forget, if you like this video, to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you soon. Bye. See ya.